Hey, bending the rules of reality with a little magic.
I love magic.
We've got a magician joining us in the QC studio to show off some tricks he's been doing for some time.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, Dr. Brayboy is out learning a new skill this morning. Cheryl, you got your gloves on. You don't want to ruin that manicure with that stain.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, when's the last time you had to stain a piece of wood and then turn it into art? Mike is teaching me how. What's the first thing we need to know?
The first thing you need to know is what piece you're going to stain, and then you're going to pick out the color of the stain.
Okay, well, we're dipping it in now, you guys. All the details after the break.
Welcome back, 9:30 on this Tuesday. We're glad you're here. A good reminder to log on, WBTV.com/vote if you aren't already. That way you can weigh in on what we're talking about, answer the questions you'll see there at the bottom of your screen. And we're also going to start by seeing if you can keep up with a little magic, Kristen.
Yeah, don't look away. You might miss out on the magic this morning. We're talking to a local magician who has been captivating audiences since he was just 6 years old and wanted to earn a Cub Scout badge. His craft has allowed him to travel from coast to coast to perform different places, even the Las Vegas Strip, and he is an international award winner as well. Colin Eleazer, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
I'm glad you're here. You're known as the Magic Kid, but you're not so much a kid anymore.
No, unfortunately I'm not.
You're what, 18?
I'm 18 years old,
You're
yes.
18, but you started magic when you were 6. Tell me a little bit about how you got into magic.
So in scouting, there's an achievement where you have to learn a magic trick. It's to help with public speaking. And so I was put to the task to learn a magic trick and perform it for them. And so, well, I didn't have anything. Well, lucky I was heading to the beach, and there happened to be a magic shop there. Stopped inside, bought some effects, showed it to the scout pack the next week, and the leader of the pack was hanging out in the back, didn't know he was there, came up to me afterwards and said, "I see something in you. Would you like to do our end of your party?" And I said, "Sure." That was all I knew was what I showed them. So I did that, and I got my very first show booking off of that show, and it's just taken me all over.
It has taken you all over. I want everybody to see this picture because this is a big award that you've received, and I don't know if Brian can come in and show this. But tell everybody at home about this award.
So that is the first place youth stage competition contest for the International Brotherhood of Magicians. It was held in Scottsdale, Arizona in 2019. And I brought out a new routine I was working on, went in to show people what it was I could do. I wasn't somebody who just hung around a convention, and I ended up winning it, and it shocked me. It really, really shocked me because I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah, that organization has magicians from all over the world.
That is correct, yes. David Copperfield, David Blaine, just to name off a few.
So you do sort of close-up magic, right? But you also do big illusions, kind of like David Copperfield. I'm a huge David Copperfield fan. I love him. You do that kind of stuff on stage.
So I get hung upside down. I do get sawed in half, thrown in boxes with 18 swords thrown into it. Even some creatures come out on stage. May have a gorilla come out on stage. I don't know.
Wow. You do it all, man. You do it all. And you even have this book, which I think is so cool. This is a magic book for kids.
Yes.
Tell me what the premise of this book is. I love this
So
idea.
this book is to help kids learn magic with everyday household items, pencils, paper clips, dollar bills, and paper balls, boxes, you name it. There's probably a trick in here that shows you how to use that item.
Because just like you, sometimes it takes just one little thing, right? One little spark of literal magic to get you just falling in love with this art form.
Yes. It's a very fun art form. Not a lot of people are doing it nowadays. It's a dying art form that I think people need to come together and learn some magic because it's wonderful. It's wonderful what this art form can do.
Yeah, even when you think you know, right? You don't know. And you know, and that's the fun of it. You're going to be performing at PT Marvel's Magic Theater in Statesville on Saturday, April 15th at 7 p.m. This is like your big headlining show. You're going to show us a little bit today. What are you going to do for us today?
So first off, I just want to thank you so much for having me on again. Good morning, everybody. So I actually have a story to tell you.
Okay.
It's about my grandfather.
Okay.
And my grandfather, he had a problem. He liked to play cards with his buddies at his house. They'd hang around, they'd play poker, they'd eat snacks, then they would leave the house and just leave the house a mess. And my grandmother would get upset about this, and she would play a prank on him. She would go over to the deck of cards and would take one card and put it in this jewelry box right here.
Okay.
And when they would come back to play, my grandfather would either have to buy a new deck of cards or just skip poker altogether. And I'm going to show you some of the cards she's collected over the years.
Okay.
Now, she always kept these two face up on top of the deck. I never understood why. Here, hold on to this one for a second.
Sure.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to start dealing through, and you can look at all the different cards she's collected. And any moment you want to, just tell me when to stop.
Stop right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
All right. Insert that card face up on top. That's going to act like a marker card. So later when we go through, we should be able to find that card relatively quickly.
Okay.
All right, you can pick up that card. We'll do exactly the same thing. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to start going through. Any moment
Stop.
Right there. All right. Go right on top.
Okay.
Now, when we fan these out, we should be able to spot your cards up. I see them right there.
Yeah.
There is the 5 of hearts.
Yeah.
And there is the 5 of diamonds. Now, we can go ahead and take these completely out. Now, as you can see, there was no two backs the same. They were all completely different.
Right.
Now, there may be two that are very similar, but completely different. Like these two cards here that we took out with your marker cards.
Yeah.
The backs look similar, but they're different. But I have a feeling that you were supposed to stop on these cards.
Okay.
Because in this deck, these were the only two cards that matched. But you were also meant to stop on these as well. Because you matched the cards perfectly. But what do you notice between the 5 of diamonds and the 5 of hearts? Besides them just being 5s, what's similar between them?
They're red.
They're
They're
red.
all 5. Yep.
Because all of these cards are black.
What?
5 of clubs. And there is the story behind my grandfather's cards.
Oh my gosh, that is so good, Colin. That is so good. When people come to the show in Statesville, they're going to see this kind of stuff. They're going to see the big stuff. What are they going to see?
So this show is a intermediate show, which I love doing shows like this because they're surrounded, they're up close. I'm doing stuff in their hands, down in the audience. So it's going to be similar stuff to this, but it's a lot of new stuff, so I'm excited to debut this new show.
You're really talented. Go ahead and put up on the screen all of the information if you need to know where to go, what to do, how to get those tickets, and you can also follow Colin on Instagram and Facebook. Hey, good job, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Mary, I'm impressed.
How does he do it?
How does he do it? We don't know. Maybe it's in this. Maybe it's in this book. Hold on.
You do some reading. You did some reading. Because Cheryl's got to get back to some work we're doing out there, woodworking, right? We got to learn some of the basics behind the craft of woodworking.